There's so much going on in the world today, geopolitically, with energy crisis. China President Xi Jinping, for one of his first overseas trips after winning an unprecedented third term, chose Saudi Arabia, right? So a few weeks ago, he visited Saudi Arabia. It generated a lot of excitement. Of course, a lot of analysis from around the world. You know, what does it sort of portend for Saudi Arabia, for the region? Does this indicate like a pivot by the region more towards Asia? I think given the energy trends, South Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia is accounting for a larger and larger percentage of the region's hydrocarbon exports. Can you give us a sense for the sort of diplomatic trends, the regional trends between the kingdom and the region and East Asia?
Thank you, Pak Tom Lembong. You know, when you talk about diplomatic trends, I've been in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for about 15 years, but I've stepped down now 10 years or so. But what strikes me most was my first 20 years as a journalist, as a media person. I was editor of various Singapore newspapers, and in fact, I felt so blessed that that role as a media person gave me the kind of the introductions, the kind of inroads, and the kind of better understanding of what the challenges are as far as the world is concerned. There was a time when Singapore's first Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, brought Singapore to independence after very tumultuous years, joining Malaysia, being asked to leave Malaysia, and then we form ASEAN, and the challenges continue. And in those early years, I felt so blessed, so happy that Ms. Lee Kuan Yew visited China. And in the early years when China was opening up, and there my dream came true, understanding China, from Suzhou to Xi'an to Tianjin, I really began to understand China. But imagine yourselves in terms of the changes that China went through, and the changes continues. So when we talk about today, Pak Tom, about the tensions, the geopolitical developments in the world today, China with the US, China with India, and China's relations with Southeast Asia, East Asia. In fact, even China's relation with Singapore. What is Singapore? Just a small island. The former president of Indonesia called it a little red dot. But yet, China felt strong enough to say, hey, Singapore, you are 70% Chinese, so behave the way you should and not try to be balanced or pro-West. But what I want to emphasize here is that things change, and they change very rapidly. Later on, when I became Senior Minister of State Foreign Affairs, my Minister for Foreign Affairs appointed me as Special Envoy to the Middle East because he thought that Middle East was very important. It was emerging. And I, being a Muslim, he thought it would have some inroads, some opportunities to better understand Middle East in the context of the emerging Singapore. But soon after that, he changed. He said, no, Middle East alone is not good enough. I will drop the Middle East, make me a special envoy so that I can cover Central Asia, cover Southeast Asia, and cover East Asia too, even China. Can you imagine that? I thought, when I was appointed as special envoy to the Middle East, I thought, again, another dream come true for me. I've always wanted to understand the Middle East better. As a Muslim, we go to pilgrimage, Umrah, Hajj all the time, and we want to see Saudi Arabia in the different contexts. But today, another dream come true for me. When I walked through this exhibition, I've never felt so great, so blessed again, that as though I am living in the future today. So congratulations to the organizers for having this exhibition, conference, and convention, because it really brings to life the realities of today for tomorrow. And I'm very, very pleased to say that, in fact, things are still changing. Just before I came into on stage, I met Daria, who was a panelist in the earlier session, and she was talking about metaverse. But I was pleasantly surprised that when she spoke about metaverse, which is beyond my brain power, I'm not a technical man. I'm a man about relations, human relations, humanities, connectivity, networking. That's my strength. But when she spoke about the importance of us understanding that when we talk about metaverse, we also do not forget the challenges of humanities. And this to me, Tom, if I may conclude by saying, that to me is the challenge for today. When we talk about opportunities, we talk about challenges. As we look at all these opportunities around us about AI, about technology, about science and technology, about metaverse, let's not forget that we are also human beings. Humanity is an important part of this understanding, and I'm glad that we are able to share this in the context, a more total context about, yes, science and technology, yes, e-world, yes, metaverse, but not at the expense of us understanding each other better and having a fuller, meaningful life about the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador Zainal.